It's time for the RET Paladin. This is Tiqqle, and we're going over the 7.1 changes coming to RET Paladins. We're going to be focusing on the skills, talents, and PvP talents. There are no artifact trait changes, so we'll be skipping that. If I include anything in this video that you have questions on or have feedback for, please leave it in the comments below. We'll have a discussion. I really appreciate this community and discussing the changes and identifying any types of changes that maybe I left out or that need to be called out or clarified, so I really appreciate all of the involvement. There are a few items coming up that I ask for your opinion, and I'd really like to see either buff or nerf down below along with the skills to see what people think. It would be great to get feedback from everyone. Alright, let's start with the skill changes. First, there's an aura being applied to the RET Paladin. This aura affects many skills and is increasing the damage by 12%. This affects Crusader Strike, Judgment, Justicar's Vengeance, Eye for an Eye, Zeal, Consecration, Templar's Verdict, Divine Storm, Blade of Justice, and Wake of Ashes. The next change, I'm going to go into a little bit more detail than the others, but I think it's important because it's a kind of a pretty big utility change for RET Paladins. And it all has to do with Greater Blessing of Might. First of all, it's being removed. Second of all, the other buffs, Kings, Wisdom, they're also being changed, but I think what's more important is how they can be used on the raid, or even the party. So, in 7.1, you are able to apply Greater Might, Greater Kings, or Greater Wisdom to 3 people in your group. You could apply 2 Kings and 1 Wisdom, or you could apply 3 Mights. In 7.1.5, first of all, Might's removed, but you'll only be able to apply 1 Wisdom and 1 King to your party or raid. This is a pretty big change. This is reducing the damage utility of a RET Paladin. Previously, they were able to give if you need more DPS, you're able to give 3 DPS buffs out to the group, and now they're limiting down to these support buffs to only 1 person each. So, let me know what you think in the comments below. There's been a lot of noise about this. Do you guys think that this is something that makes sense? Do you think it was overpowered before? Why do you think Blizzard's making this change? Let me know in the comments below. I really appreciate any insight you guys have. The next change is to Avenging Wrath. Avenging Wrath is getting a tooltip update, going from increases all damage and healing you deal by 35% for 20 seconds to increases all damage done by 35% and all healing done by 35% for 20 seconds. As I said, Greater Blessing of Kings is getting a modification. Not only can it only be cast on 1 party member or raid member, it's also getting a scaling modification. The spell power multiplier to define the amount of absorption is getting increased by 0.9. Greater Blessing of Wisdom is being changed, as I mentioned. It can only be cast on 1 person and is getting the duration between the tick of regeneration reduced by 5 seconds. That means you're going to get more ticks more often. The next change is to Shield of Vengeance. This was noted as a tooltip correction, but I'm curious if there's any real impact to the skill. The absorption shield was defined by the attack power multiplied by 10 and now is being corrected to attack power multiplied by 20. So I'm assuming this is on the live servers, but if anyone has any additional information, please put it in the comments below for everyone. And that's it for the skill changes. Going into the talents, starting with Execution Sentence, this is getting a plus 600% attack power scaling. Maybe this will be a bit more viable. Fist of Justice is being changed for RET Paladins. Instead of going from your damaging abilities that spend Holy Power reduce the remaining cooldown in Hammer of Justice by 8 seconds, now it's each Holy Power spent reduces the remaining cooldown in Hammer of Justice by 2.5 seconds each. So this means at 5 Holy Power, you're going to be reducing it by 12 seconds in 7.1.5. I'm not sure if this is a buff or a nerf. I wanted to get your guys' feedback, your guys' insights. You guys are the pros. Let me know. Fist of Justice buff or nerf in 7.1.5. Divine Hammer's holy damage is going up by 45%. The spell scaling for healing on Word of Glory is being increased by 300%. The Divine Intervention talent will be giving 30% less cooldown reduction to your Divine Shield, going from 50% reduction to 20% reduction. The Seal of Light talent has been removed and replaced with Judgment of Light. Judgment of Light allows you to use this on a target, and then the next 40 successful attacks on that target heal the attacker for 20% of spell power. I interpret that as either I'm hitting it getting healed, or someone else is hitting it, one of my teammates, one of my arena partners, raid partners. So this could be kind of an interesting utility using that to try to give someone else some damage vamp back. Now let's go into the PvP talents. We're going to go through each of the talents that have any changes, and here we go. The first change is to Blessing of Sanctuary. This is getting a plus 5 second cooldown increase. There's a change coming to Luminescence. The tooltip reads, whenever you've been healed by any source in 7.1, and in 7.1.5 it says, when you are healed by an ally. Now the reason I'm calling this out and I'm asking if this is a buff or a nerf, when we say any source, this means I could heal myself, my healer could heal me, an enemy could use some type of effect that makes a heal tick on me, but now, when it says you are healed by an ally, does this include myself? because it really sounds like it would just be a healer in the party. I want to let you guys decide. Put a comment. Let me know. Do you think this is a buff or a nerf to Luminescence? And that's it for Ret Paladins. There were a bunch of changes in the talent tree, not so much in the PvP side, and especially not in the artifact traits, but I think it's going to make a pretty big impact. There was also a note on MMO today that generally Ret Paladin abilities have been increased in damage. I'm not sure where that was pulled. I have to do a little bit digging. If you know any insight about that, please put it in the comments below for everyone to discuss. Otherwise, guys, really appreciate the support lately. There's been a lot of subscribers, a lot of liking on the videos. Really appreciate it. If you guys enjoy the video, if you find this helpful, please hit the like button. Please hit the subscribe button. Let me know in the comments if you have any feedback. I'd be happy to make those changes. And check out some of my other videos. I've been going over the 7.1.5 changes for Destruction Warlock, Elemental Shaman, the other Paladin specs, Druids, all 4 specs. I hope they help you be prepared for 7.1.5. And as always, guys, I'll see you in the next video. Thank you.